everybody, so I am back doing another set of nails. This one's going to be a spring set. I've already prepped my nails with the Young Nails Protein Bond, and then I top that off with the Lisette Gel Nails rubber base coat, and now I'm going in with my Cover Beige by Mia Secret, and I'm going to go ahead and do a fill on my pinky and on my thumb. I'm using a brush by, I believe this one is from Nail Supply Glamour. It was a little fluffy because it really hasn't been used quite yet, so it hasn't kind of tapered in a bit, so it was a little too fluffy for what I liked, and I do end up switching it out later in the video. But for now I'm just doing that fill really quick. Today I really wanted to play with some new acrylics from Haha Nails. I recently became a brand ambassador for them, and I wanted to show you guys the acrylics in a video. So this is the code that they gave me. This is for you guys. It's Gabs Glam 10. I don't get a commission or any type of money from it. It's just for you guys to use for a discount when you buy their products. So these are the three colors that I'm going to be using today. The first one is number 76, Self-Made. This is kind of like a flat, like teal, maybe leaning towards like a hunter green type shade. It was super pretty. One of my favorite colors from the collection, which if you haven't seen, I did do a full swatch of all 78 or 79 colors by them. I will say this was one of the first times that I tried this product. My room was really cold, and this acrylic line actually I feel like is best for beginners because of its like slow set time, but when you add in the cold temperature of my room, it made it very runny. So I did struggle a bit in this video. What I did find down the line was actually holding the acrylic bead on your brush just a couple extra seconds longer till it starts to get very like soft and malleable, and then going in and applying that to your nail. I feel like that creates like the perfect consistency. Otherwise they do tend to end up a little bit more runny, but I do think that that's a good thing for beginners because it gives you some more working time. So really it's just your preference, and then also what you do to try to combat some of it if you are struggling. So you can do things like heating up your monomer, draining your bead, or waiting a couple seconds with the bead on your brush just to give it some time to start to set and not run all over the place when you go and put it on the nail. So for this nail, I'm going and applying this as a full coverage nail. I don't apply the colored acrylic super thick. I do still keep it kind of thin, and then I encapsulate the color with some clear. Because this is a flat color, you don't necessarily have to do that because you don't have to worry about filing into any glitter or confetti or particles like that, but I just prefer to do it that way. I feel like it's easier. It does save you some money on your colored acrylics because those tend to be higher price points than clear acrylic is, and it's just a lot easier to get your strength and your apex with that. Plus I like to just be in the habit of it because you do have to encapsulate like colored acrylics that have glitter or just clear acrylics with glitter in it, so it's just a good habit to be in my opinion. And I'm using the Young Nail Speed Clear acrylic. For some reason it looked almost as if like it wasn't going to apply correctly and that it was going to be a little cloudy as I was applying it, but in the end it actually worked out really good. The one thing you just want to be mindful of when doing a clear overlay, especially over a flat color, is just using a more wet or runny bead so that you don't get any bubbling or cloudiness. Now I'm going into the next shade. I believe this is Mike Wazowski. I can't remember the exact number, but I will list that down below for you guys. It's just a very bright like lime green. This is also a flat shade. There's no glitter in this one, and I'm doing this as kind of like a double ombre. These are a little tricky, and I'm still trying to find the best way to do them because when you do the ombre, you tend to do the color closest to the free edge first, and then ombre in the color after that. The difficult thing when doing it on nail forms versus nail tips is that you kind of have to gauge how wide you're doing the nail. all the way at the tip. So just because I don't do a clear base. If you do a clear base, it's a little easier. I find that adds some unnecessary thickness, so I don't do it that way. So I'm still trying to play around with the best way to do this style of nail design. So I will let you guys know if I have any tips or tricks in the future. But now what I'm doing is I'm going in with the shade Toxic, and this one does have a glitter, and I'm kind of marbling that over top of that first shade. I do go in with the original Self-Made shade, and I try to start ombreing that. I completely forgot that I was gonna do this ombre prior to doing that glitter, so typically what I would do is go in and do the ombre colors first, and then add in any sparkle or glitter or kind of like top overlays afterwards, because it's just going to make it easier. You don't have to be as precise when trying to do that ombre. You can be a little messier with it. So once I do that, I fix it and then go back in with that glitter and just again start marbling it over top to just give it some sparkle and some dimension. Then I'm going to go back in with that Cover Beige shade by Mia Secret, and I'm going to go ahead and start ombreing this over top. I will say, because I struggled with this, my ombre is really not that great, but it was a learning process, and I know it for the future to try it a different way. My preference when doing ombres with dark colors is trying to get the blended area as thin as possible with that darker color, so that the nude ombres over it really nicely and seamlessly, and I don't have to really work to build up that opaqueness of the nude or the lighter shades. So I know that's probably not the best explanation. I will show you guys in future videos what I mean by that, but I find that doing the dark color all the way up to the free edge and then trying to do a nude ombre over top just doesn't work the best. I struggle to really get a good coverage with the nude, and it always ends up not really looking the best at the end, because I tend to file through the sides when I do it this way. So if you can, try to blend that line between the nude and the colored acrylic as much as possible, so you don't have to worry about trying to cover up that line. For my pointer finger, I go in with the Mike Wazowski shade by itself. Here you can see I kept it kind of closer to the tip of the nail, and then when I go in ombre, especially because this is a lighter color, it ends up a lot more seamless than that last nail that I did. So just something to think about if you're going to do a set like this with a very dark shade that's ombreed into a nude. And I do the same thing with that Toxic shade. I just go over and kind of marble it over the top just to give it some sparkle and some dimension. Next, I'm going to go in and encapsulate these ombres. I'm using the same Speed Clear acrylic by Young Nails, and I'm going to go in and just use some clear to protect the ombre and help prevent me from filing it out. Again, I do tend to do that a lot, especially near like the free edge of my natural nail where the extension actually connects. But if you do try to keep the layers very thin, it'll help prevent some of that. Once I'm done with all of that, I went ahead and filed and shaped off camera, and I'm going back in with the Young Nails Protein Bond. I'm doing this because I'm using some stickers, and that'll help keep the background kind of wet looking instead of you seeing where those file marks are. It kind of masks that and also gives you kind of a sticky layer for the stickers to stick onto. So I'm just taking a few different ones. These are just some flowers and dragonflies that I have from a set I believe I got off Amazon. I'm just gonna throw a bunch of these on there. I like to also be a little bit more precise with my application of these. If I do have areas that I filed out, I tend to like to put a sticker over those areas just to kind of cover up some of that. So that's what I do here on the middle nail, just to give it a little bit of like a masked look, and you don't notice those areas as much. And then when I'm done, I'm going to go in with the Kiara Sky. This is their ultimate top coat gel, and then I'm going to just apply this on top. This is a no wipe top coat, and I just apply this to seal in those stickers. And then I'm going in with the Kiara Sky top coat as well on the pinky and the thumb. And then I'm just taking a gold glitter from Michaels. This is just a fine gold glitter, and I am sprinkling it on top to get a sugared effect on the pinky and the thumb. I really liked how this came out with the gold sugar on the pinky and thumb, and I feel like it just added a little bit of a pop to the nail, so it didn't get really flat with just all the green that I had. So I really loved how this nail look came out. I hope you guys did too. It was really fun for me to do, and when I was done with all of that, I topped it off with the Sugar Cookie cuticle oil by Haha Nails as well. You can use the discount code I showed you earlier for this product as well. These smell amazing. They have a Fruit Loops one that smells exactly like the Fruit Loops cereal. It is so good. I bought 2 of them, so definitely recommend these, and they are a good thick moisturizing oil, which I love. I prefer a thicker oil personally, and I think you guys will enjoy them as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know down below what other videos you would like to see from me. Let me know down below if you do end up picking up some products from her. I do really enjoy the acrylics. I think they're really great for beginners, so definitely try them out if you're interested. Like this video to let me know that you enjoyed it and would like to see more of these from me, and also subscribe to this channel to see future videos. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you are having a wonderful day wherever you are, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, everybody.